It is 1910. You are following a narrow trail through a vast temperate forest, carrying only a canvas pack, a tin cup, matches, and a paper map. The afternoon light begins to thin. You step around a fallen tree, climb a low ridge, and realize the trail behind you has disappeared. At first, it feels impossible. You walked only a few minutes. But every direction now looks identical. Wet trunks, dark ferns, and rising mist. You call out. The forest absorbs your voice. No answer returns, and the silence makes the distance around you feel much larger than it did before. Your first instinct is to move quickly. Find a trail. Reach higher ground. Follow anything that looks familiar. That instinct can become the first real danger. Lost people often turn uncertainty into motion. They walk faster, change direction repeatedly, and build confidence from clues that may not mean anything. In a forest without GPS, every careless step expands the search area. The trail may be 50 yards behind you, but panic can place it miles away. So the first survival decision is not heroic. It is difficult precisely because it feels passive. Stop moving, breathe slowly, and force your mind to become useful again. You take inventory. A pocket knife, a wool coat, a small ration of bread and cheese, a compass, 2 matches in a metal case, 1 tin cup. Then you ask the most important question. Does anyone know where you plan to go and when they should expect you back? Rescue begins with that answer. If your route is known, staying near your last reliable location may give searchers their best chance. Wandering can turn a small problem into a vast one. If you can clearly retrace your last steps without guessing, a cautious return may work. But the moment memory becomes uncertain, movement becomes a gamble. You mark your position with strips of cloth and a small arrow of branches. If you must move a short distance, you need a way back. The compass tells you direction, not safety. A straight line can lead into cliffs, swamps, rivers, or dense undergrowth that consumes time and strength. The map is damp at the edges. Without a known landmark, it cannot magically reveal your position. It only becomes useful when the land matches the paper. Dusk is now less than 2 hours away. The survival problem changes. Finding the trail matters, but staying warm, dry, visible, and uninjured matters more. You search for a campsite close enough to your marked position that rescuers could still find you. The best place is not always the most comfortable looking place. A stream bank offers water, but it may flood, concentrate cold air, hide unstable ground, and trap you below steep slopes. You move back to higher, drier soil. You look above. Dead limbs suspended in the canopy can fall without warning. A shelter beneath them would turn protection into another threat. You avoid the exposed ridge, where wind steals heat, and the deep hollow, where cold, damp air settles. A sheltered bench of ground offers the safer compromise. Your body will lose heat into the earth throughout the night. Before building a roof, you build a bed, dry leaves and evergreen boughs piled thick beneath you. This insulation may matter more than comfort. Cold ground can drain warmth even when the air feels merely cool, especially after rain or exhaustion. A fallen trunk becomes the spine of a small lean-to. Branches form the frame. Bark and layered foliage create a roof angled away from the wind. The shelter is not a cabin. It is a barrier against rain, moving air, and exposure. In survival, a small dry space can be more valuable than a large fragile one. You keep the entrance low and position it toward the calmer side. Every unnecessary opening allows heat to leave and weather to enter. Now comes fire. It promises warmth, light, boiled water, and a signal. It also promises risk if wind, dry fuel, or poor judgment turns it loose. You clear the ground to mineral soil and build the fire well away from roots, hanging branches, and your shelter. Control must come before comfort. The forest is wet, but dry material still exists beneath logs, inside split wood, and under protected bark. You gather far more fuel than you think you need. One match is not a plan. You prepare the smallest fibers, then twigs, then larger sticks before striking anything. The fire must grow in stages. The first match dies in damp air. The second catches. For several tense seconds, your entire night depends on a flame smaller than your hand. You shield it with your body until the twigs begin to crackle. The fire survives, but now you have no matches left. From this moment, it must be maintained. Smoke rises through the trees, weak but visible. By daylight, adding green vegetation carefully can create a stronger signal. Only if the fire remains fully controlled. 3 repeated signals, 3 whistle blasts, 3 shouts, 3 flashes can communicate distress. Random noise disappears into the forest. A pattern attracts attention. You hang a bright cloth above the camp and place reflective metal where sunlight may catch it. Survival depends partly on becoming easier to find. Water is the next problem. Your body can function for a night without food, but dehydration, cold, and exertion can quickly damage judgment. The stream looks clean. That appearance proves nothing. Upstream contamination and microscopic organisms do not announce themselves in clear water. You collect from the fastest, clearest section you can reach safely, avoiding stagnant pools and places with obvious contamination. Then you treat what you drink. The tin cup gives you one reliable advantage: heat. Bringing water to a rolling boil can kill disease-causing germs, though it cannot remove chemical contamination. You allow the water to cool beside the fire. Drinking too little because the process feels inconvenient would make tomorrow's decisions slower and worse. Hunger now becomes loud, but not urgent. You divide the bread and cheese rather than eating everything. Familiar food preserves energy without creating new risks. The forest offers berries, roots, mushrooms, and leaves. Without certain identification, they are not supplies. They are unknown substances with consequences. Searching for food can burn more energy than it returns, injure you, or lead you away from camp. For the first night, restraint is the safer choice. Darkness arrives quickly under the canopy. Shapes disappear, distances collapse, and every sound becomes difficult to place. Night changes the forest more than the forest changes itself. Walking now would be reckless. A hidden hole, wet rock, or low branch could create an injury that turns a manageable emergency into a permanent trap. You inspect your feet while there is still firelight. A blister, ignored tonight, can become a serious mobility problem tomorrow. Small damage grows when survival depends on walking. You loosen wet leather, dry your socks carefully, and protect the irritated skin. Preservation begins with the parts of your body that carry you. The temperature drops. Rain taps against the shelter roof. You add dry layers, cover your head, and keep your clothing from touching the wet ground. Shivering is a warning, not an inconvenience. If it becomes violent or stops while you remain cold, the situation is becoming more dangerous, not less. You eat a small portion, drink warm water, and feed the fire. Heat, hydration, calories, and shelter work together. None of them is a complete solution alone. A branch snaps beyond the firelight. The greatest fear is an animal, but wildlife usually prefers distance. Panic can provoke the encounter you are trying to avoid. You do not run into the dark. You make your human presence known. Keep food secured away from the sleeping area and leave space for anything nearby to retreat. Advice changes with the species and region, but one rule is broadly important around large predators. Sudden flight can trigger pursuit. Control your movement. You stand tall, speak firmly, and remain near the light. The sound fades. Whether it was dangerous never becomes clear, and that uncertainty is part of the night. You move the remaining food and scraps away from your bed and keep the camp clean. Smell can invite attention long after the cooking is finished. Sleep comes in fragments. The fire weakens, rain shifts, and every hour demands another small decision. Survival is not one dramatic act, it is maintenance. Near midnight, the wind changes direction. Smoke begins entering the shelter, forcing you to adjust the opening without dismantling the structure or losing precious heat. Later, water starts running toward the bed. A shallow trench outside redirects it. The detail seems minor, but dry insulation is now one of your most valuable resources. Your mind begins inventing shortcuts. Perhaps the trail is just beyond the ridge. Perhaps the stream reaches a road. Darkness makes guesses feel like opportunities. You resist. Following water downhill is not a universal escape route. Streams can enter ravines, waterfalls, dense brush, and terrain where rescue becomes harder. The safest decision remains the least satisfying. Stay with the shelter, preserve energy, and wait for enough light to reassess the land without imagination controlling the map. Before dawn, the cold reaches its deepest point. You sit close to the fire, but not so close that sparks damage your only dry clothing. The eastern sky finally pales. The forest returns slowly, first outlines, then depth, then direction. Daylight does not solve the problem, but it restores information. You rebuild the signal fire and place contrasting branches in an open patch. From above, straight lines and geometric shapes can look unnatural against the forest. You listen before moving. A distant engine, an axe, running water, a whistle, or even silence can tell you something about the world beyond the trees. Your compass and map now become more useful. You identify the ridge line, estimate the stream's direction, and compare them with the route you intended to follow. There is still no certainty. Moving is justified only if you have a clear destination, enough daylight, physical ability, and a way to mark the route behind you. If no one knows you are missing, remaining forever may not bring rescue. But movement must become a controlled plan, not a reaction to fear. You decide to climb a nearby open rise, only a short distance, fully marked, carrying your essentials, and returning immediately if the route becomes unclear. From the rise, you see a thin break in the canopy and a line of old cut stumps. Human patterns, possibly a logging road, perhaps the trail you lost. You do not rush toward it. First, you return to camp, leave a visible note of direction and time, extinguish the fire completely, and pack what keeps you alive. Every 100 steps, you mark your back trail. The objective is not merely to move forward. It is to avoid becoming lost a second time. The cut stumps lead to a faint roadbed. Then, through the trees, you hear 3 whistle blasts. You answer with 3 of your own. A search party appears minutes later, following the route you told others you would take. Your shelter, signals, and decision to stay nearby made the forest smaller. You survived without defeating the wilderness. You survived by refusing to let fear choose your direction, hunger choose your food, or darkness choose your path. Before GPS, a wrong turn could become a death trap. But the deepest trap was never the forest itself. It was the next bad decision. So imagine the trail vanishing behind you, the rain beginning, and daylight running out. With only what you carried, could you survive this?